at the site for integrated systems testing and the rocket's first launch readiness campaign.
In fact, en route to Virginia right now is Neutron's distinctive payload fairing, the Hungry Hippo. Now, Neutron is unlike any other rocket that's been built before, and one of its most unique features is its reusable fairing halves that remain attached to the rocket stage throughout launch and landing back to Earth. While most other rocket fairings open up and then fall away during launch, Neutron's Hungry Hippo fairing opens and closes within seconds to allow its second stage to continue to orbit. What then comes back to Earth is a single reusable vehicle with fairing halves still attached, a specific design choice we made to enable rapid and cost-effective reuse of Neutron to launch, land, and repeat.
And the Hungry Hippo has recently cleared its qualification and acceptance testing campaigns, and the vision of those payload fairing halves opening and closing during those tests is a sight to see. Check it out for yourself.
Open in 10 seconds time.
And there you go. And if you've ever wondered what a Hungry Hippo sounds like, you heard it right there in that clip.
Well, I'd love a moment to share some of the stats behind the Hungry Hippo's qualification campaign too. We put that entire fairing through all the load cases it can expect it will experience during launch and landing, including up to 275,000 pounds of force across its carbon composite structure. This simulates the load experienced during max Q, when Neutron will experience maximum aerodynamic pressure. The fastest we opened the fairing halves under flight-like conditions was just 1.5 seconds, which is less than half the time we need to allow for Neutron Stage 2 to separate before reorienting the rocket for its return to Earth. And for the canards you saw in that clip too, we took those structures through combined torque and bending load cases that went beyond what we can expect during Neutron's launch to more than 125%. Now, I am so excited to see the Hungry Hippo on its way to Wallops.
NASA RSO LD on countdown.
RSO?
Requesting your go or no-go for launch.
Alright, safety is go.
NASA TD LD on countdown.
The TD is go.
Copy TD.
And back to tonight's mission. Right now, the weather is tracking green on the eastern shore. The range is clear and the team is ready for flight. Coming up next in the countdown will be the start of Electron's auto sequence, when the rocket's flight computer takes over operations from T-2 through to liftoff. A couple of seconds after that auto sequence starts, the propellant loading process will complete, and we should hear a call out from Mission Control that confirms this at around T minus 1.5 minutes to launch.
Soon after that, Electron's propellant tanks will be fully pressed for launch. By then, we should be within a minute of Electron's liftoff for the STP-S30 mission, with the rocket scheduled to light up its engines at 2 seconds before T0 for an on-time launch.
Let's hand it back to Mission Control to listen through all of that final count, and we will be back with you shortly after launch. Go STP-S30.
To all stations, we are T minus 3 minutes and counting. The 3-word procedure is now in effect. From now on, there should be no red flags in your critical LCCs. Beacon LD on countdown.
LD beacon.
Please lock the auto sequence and confirm.
Auto sequence is locked.
Confirm all flight computer ASCOs are green.
All ASCOs are green.
We are go for auto sequence start at T minus 2 minutes, and LD is go for launch.
The vehicle is fully on internal power. RF reception is nominal, AFTS is green and enabled for flight.
Oxid is complete, system is in recirc. Anti-geysering is disabled.
Stage 1 and 2 tanks suppressed for flight.
High flow engine approach enabled.
T minus 20 seconds and counting.
Deluge activated.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Beginning pitch over.
Stage 1 propulsion nominal.
A beautiful, clean liftoff from Rocket Lab Launch Complex 2 on the Eastern Shore. There goes Electron in full flight for the STP-S30 mission. We are T plus 45 seconds post liftoff, and Electron's velocity is climbing past 700 kilometers an hour, now at just past 5 kilometers above Earth. We are quickly approaching the moment of maximum aerodynamic pressure, otherwise known as max Q, which is when the forces against the rocket are at their peak.
Vehicle is supersonic, approaching max Q. Clear max Q.
Electron has cleared max Q and is continuing its southeastern trajectory off the coast of Virginia out over the Atlantic Ocean. The first stage's Rutherford engines are at full thrust to take the launch vehicle past 2,000 kilometers an hour, now more than 23 kilometers above Earth. You can keep an eye on Electron's trajectory with the dials in the top corner of your screen there. That nominal altitude and velocity means we're quickly approaching the next scheduled event for Electron, separation of the stages at approximately T plus 2 minutes and 44 seconds into flight.
What's about to happen is we'll see the Rutherford engines on the bottom of the first stage throttle down to slow Electron just a bit before the engines shut off completely. As you see happening there on your screen, we have main engine cutoff, also known as MECO. The second stage will then separate from the first stage, just a couple of seconds ahead of the engine on stage 2, igniting to continue the mission to orbit. These three events have already started to take place, so we're just going to sit back and watch these happen on our camera lives as we listen in for mission control for the callouts.
Beacon confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 2 ignition confirmed.
That is MECO, stage separation, and second stage engine startup complete on Electron for the STP S30 mission. A nice, clean set of events that sets us up for fairing jettison in under a minute.
Yes, now that we have cleared the lower atmosphere, we jettison Electron's two nose cone halves to drop the excess mass from stage 2, and the disk sats get their first taste of space. Just a few seconds away from that fairing jettison taking place, so let's bring back up the mission control comms to listen in and watch along.
HVP discharge holding nominal.
Fairing jettison confirmed.
We are in just about 4 minutes into flight there, and the mission is proceeding nominally as Electron continues to orbit, now at more than 8,200 kilometers an hour, with its altitude at just past 160 kilometers. We've got a couple of minutes before our next event to take place on the second stage, the battery hot swap. This milestone keeps the second stage Rutherford engine burning across its entire engine burn time. Now, to get to that initial 550 kilometer target, the second stage Rutherford engine on your screen has an engine burn time just shy of 7 minutes before the kick stage is separated and sent on its way with the disk sats. To keep the engine burning for the full duration, we need to swap out the batteries that are powering the engine's fuel pumps. They end up becoming fully depleted after about 4 minutes of use, so before we run out, Electron performs a battery hot swap to switch to a new battery pack that keeps the engine running. We'll hear a few callouts from mission control in the lead up to that moment. HVB discharge holding nominal refers to the high voltage batteries that are currently in use, with the operator letting us know that those batteries are performing as they should, before another reminder about 30 seconds before the actual hot swap.
And when that hot swap happens, you should see the silver battery packs on your screen disconnect and disappear, which will be our visual confirmation that all was nominal with that event. Hot swap is scheduled to occur in approximately T plus 6 minutes, 40 seconds, so let's listen in and watch out for it now.
Guidance is nominal, 200 seconds remaining.
HVP discharge holding nominal, approaching hot swap in roughly 30 seconds.
Throttling down.
Battery jettison confirmed.
Confirmed hot swap successful.
And with that, we've completed the hot swap maneuver for Electron's second stage, with the Rutherford engine continuing to burn bright and nominal on its way for the next staging event. We're clocking more than 14,700 kilometers an hour as Electron continues to climb above 275 kilometers in altitude. We are right on target to deliver the STP-S30 mission to its nominal transfer orbit ahead of payload deployment to our 550-kilometer LEO destination. Once they're deployed, the 4 DiskSats will operate in pairs. One pair will remain at 550 kilometers above Earth to test out operations at that altitude, while the other pair will maneuver into what's known as Very Low Earth Orbit, or VLEO, which is considered to be between 300 and 450 kilometers above Earth.
All right, well, coming up next will be the second stage engine cutoff, or SECO. This manoeuvre follows relatively the same procedure as main engine cutoff, where the Rutherford engine on the second stage will shut off ahead of the final separation of the vehicle between the second stage and the kick stage. There will be a bit of a gap between that final separation and payload deployment, as the stage separation places the kick stage in an elliptical orbit of Earth first. So we'll explain what happens then after we receive confirmation from Mission Control, first of SECO and then stage separation.
We are now T plus 8.5-ish minutes into flight, and the second stage engine continues to burn, but very quickly we are approaching SECO, or second engine cutoff. Soon the Rutherford will throttle down before shutting off to maintain a steady state for the kick stage and its payload during the separation event. We'll get a guidance as terminal callout at 20 seconds before the engine shuts down, so let's listen out now for Mission Control and keep an eye on your screen for that red-hot nozzle to start turning cold at SECO.
SECO confirmed.
Nominal transfer orbit achieved.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there we have it. Second engine cutoff is confirmed, and the kick stage has been separated from Electron with its DiskSat payload. With that, we are successfully in a staging orbit ahead of payload deployment for STP-S30 in approximately 50 minutes. Now, what that means is that the kick stage will now coast around Earth in an elliptical orbit. Once it connects the dots on the other side, the kick stage's Curie engine will fire up to circularize its trajectory at a 550-kilometer altitude before payload deployment can begin one by one for the 4 DiskSats on board.
We're going to leave you with this tracking graphic of the kick stage's trajectory to keep an eye on where it is, but take a break, stretch your legs, and we'll be back with you just before payload deployment begins for STP-S30. We'll see you back here soon. Hello and welcome back to the launch of Don't Be Such a Square. We're just moments away from beginning payload deployment of the 4 DiskSat satellites for the STP-S30 mission. Earlier today, bright and early from the eastern shore of Virginia, we launched our 78th Electron rocket from Launch Complex 2 at 12:03 a.m. local time, with a clean ascent through the usual milestones, including max Q, MECO, stage separation, and second stage startup. After Electron's stage burn was complete, its engine also shut down and separated the kick stage from stage 2. The kick stage was then released into a transfer orbit on an elliptical trajectory with the STP-S30 payload.
That coast journey around Earth has now been completed, and the Curie engine on the kick stage has just finished its 1 minute and 46 second engine burn, repositioning to a circular trajectory in low Earth orbit. That brings us just seconds away from the deployment of the first DiskSat on board, and we're standing by to listen out for confirmation from Mission Control.
DiskSat 1, payload deployment confirmed.
Great news from Mission Control. That is payload deployment confirmed for the first of 4 of today's satellites and the official debut of DiskSat in space for the very first time. Each DiskSat is being deployed one at a time with a couple of minutes of spacing in between to ensure a safe operational distance. With the first one gone, we're scheduled to deploy the second one at T plus 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 30 seconds.
We are approaching the timed payload deployment for DiskSat number 2 in roughly 40 seconds. Like before, we're expecting to hear the call out from our operator in Mission Control that confirms that separation event has taken place. Let's listen out for it now.
DiskSat 2, payload deployment confirmed.
Congratulations to the team on payload deployment number 2 for the STP-S30 mission. 2 down, 2 more to go to close out this mission. We've got DiskSat 3 scheduled to deploy in about 2.5 minutes at T plus 1 hour, 5 minutes and 16 seconds. So, same as before, we're standing by for a couple of minutes until we come up on that third deployment event. Stick with us.
All right, it is almost time to deploy DiskSat number 3 from the kick stage. Just 30 seconds or so remaining until that third satellite is triggered for release from its dispenser to join the first 2 satellites already deployed. Let's listen in.
Expected DiskSat 3 payload deployment.
Nice one from Mission Control. That is 3 for 3 so far for the STP-S30 mission, with just one more DiskSat to go. That one is roughly scheduled for deployment at about T plus 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 16 seconds. So not long to go now to complete this constellation of DiskSats on orbit.
Post-launch danger area has been removed. Access controls are back to the fence line.
Copy, GSO.
GSO going off comms.
Thank you, sir, for your support there, GSO.
Okay, the moment is here. The final payload deployment event to release DiskSat number 4 to orbit and complete the launch for STP-S30. We are just a few seconds away now, so for one last time, let's bring up the audio from Mission Control and listen in for that final payload deployment from the kick stage.
DiskSat 4 expected payload deployment.
Congratulations to the STP-S30 mission operators. That is payload deployment confirmed for the 4th and final DiskSat from the kick stage, and mission success for Electron's 20th launch of the year. All the very best with on-orbit operations for this exciting technology demonstration for the Space Test Program, Aerospace Corp, and NASA. Congratulations as well to the organisations involved in the launch across the SSC's System Delta 89 Capability Development Branch and the Rocket Systems Launch Program.
Launching this mission to orbit 5 months ahead of schedule is a fantastic feat backed by great partnerships, and we are proud to have delivered mission success once again that serves the technology advancement needs for the nation. And congratulations, of course, to the Rocket Lab build, test, and launch teams on yet another launch this week. Let's do it all again, one more time, for our 3rd launch in 7 days, coming up this weekend to round out the year. You can look out for more information about that mission on Rocket Lab's website and social media channels. Otherwise, we'll see you back here soon for yet another Rocket Lab launch. This is Rocket Lab Mission Control, signing off.